Bedtime Stories 25, Cosmo and the Lantern of Dreams moral. Kindness and empathy can light the way, even in the darkest dreams. Cosmo snuggled beneath his blanket, the moonlight casting soft patterns on the walls of his cozy room. He yawned and hugged his stuffed bear tighter. Just as his eyes began to close, a gentle glow appeared at the window. A floating lantern drifted inside, glowing with a warm, golden light. The lantern opened like a flower, and from its center emerged a tiny glowing creature. She had silvery wings and eyes that shimmered like the stars. "Hello, Cosmo," she said in a voice that sounded like wind chimes. "I am Lumi, the dream light guide. Will you help me light the dreams tonight?" Cosmo blinked, amazed. "Me? Really?" Lumi nodded. "The world needs gentle hearts to spread kindness through dreams. Come with me." With a whoosh, Cosmo floated out of bed and into the night sky, the lantern leading the way. They soared past sleepy rooftops and glowing stars toward a hidden jungle made entirely of dreams. In this magical jungle, trees whispered bedtime stories and flowers glowed like lullabies. "Each dream has a light," Lumi said, guiding Cosmo to a path of floating stones. "But sometimes that light dims. That's where we come in." Cosmo took a deep breath and stepped onto the dream path, the lantern lighting the way with a soft hum. The stars above shimmered as Cosmo followed Lumi deeper into the dreamscape jungle. The air was filled with the hum of nighttime lullabies, sung by glowing flowers that swayed to a rhythm only dreams knew. "Every dreamer has their path," Lumi whispered, "but sometimes they need a gentle light to guide the way." Suddenly, a great hill rose before them, covered in silver leaves. At its peak stood a lonely creature, a dreaming moon moth with translucent wings that twinkled like moonbeams. "She's lost her way," Lumi said, floating beside Cosmo. "Perhaps her kindness can help her find it." Cosmo approached the moth carefully and held out the lantern. "Are you searching for something?" he asked gently. The moth nodded, her tiny voice trembling. "I forgot how to fly. The stars seem so far tonight." Without a second thought, Cosmo reached out his hand. "Maybe all you need is a friend beside you." The moth blinked and then leapt her wings, caught the lantern's soft glow, and she soared skyward, laughter trailing behind her. "You've made the sky brighter," Lumi whispered, curling around Cosmo's wrist like a bracelet. "That's the magic of dreams shared." They walked further now through a valley where glowing bubbles floated upward like wishes. Each bubble carried a whisper, a giggle, a bedtime song, or a sleepy sigh. "These are dream bubbles," Lumi explained. "They lift worries and carry hopes." Cosmo touched one and saw a vision of his mom reading his favorite book, her voice like music in the warm glow of his nightlight. Cosmo pointed to a bubble drifting slowly, pulsing with a soft blue glow. "That one belongs to a boy who's forgotten how to smile in his sleep." Cosmo reached out and gently gave the drifting, pulsing, soft blue glow bubble a push. The bubble burst in a sparkle of laughter, and across the sky, a star brightened. "You see?" Lumi beamed. "Even a small kindness becomes a light in someone else's dark." The path led into the whispering woods trees that told stories in rustles and sighs. Cosmo listened. One tree shared a tale of a dragon who only roared because no one asked if he was okay. Cosmo paused and whispered to the tree, "Maybe the dragon needed a hug." The tree shimmered in agreement, and a breeze carried Cosmo's words through the branches like a lullaby. At the heart of the woods was a clearing where creatures made of mist danced in slow spirals. They were the sleep spirits, guardians of the gentlest dreams. One spirit floated close. "Cosmo, your light grows brighter with every step, but soon your journey will bring you home." Cosmo looked at Lumi, "But I'm not ready to leave yet." Lumi smiled softly. "Dreams don't end, little one. They simply change shape." The spirit placed a soft blue feather in Cosmo's hand, a token of his courage. As Cosmo and Lumi climbed a staircase made of moonlight, they reached a hilltop with a view of the entire dream world. It sparkled and pulsed like a heartbeat, alive and gentle. "You've made this place better just by being here," Lumi said, floating around him like a halo. Cosmo sat, watching the stars swirl. He noticed a tiny creature struggling in the grass below, a sleepy snail trying to find its way. Cosmo bent down, picked it up gently, and placed it on a leaf. The snail looked up and smiled. "You may be small," Lumi said, "but the kindness in your heart is vast." A hush fell over the jungle as night deepened. Lumi began to hum a lullaby, soft, slow, and full of stars. Cosmo hummed along. They passed a dream river now, its waters glowing lavender and blue. On the surface were images of children sleeping peacefully, each one touched by dreams Cosmo helped brighten. As they crossed a gentle bridge made of spider silk and light, Cosmo's eyes grew heavier. "Lumi, am I going home soon?" Lumi nodded. "But you'll return again. Every night your heart is kind, a lantern will light the way." Cosmo looked at the lantern. It shimmered, now brighter than ever. He held it close, and with each breath, the world around him began to fade into misty twilight. The jungle, the stars, the laughter, they all drifted into the soft folds of a dream blanket. Lumi's voice was faint now, like a whisper in a seashell. "You did well, Cosmo. Rest and let the magic tuck you in." A warm breeze brushed his cheek, and the ground beneath him became softer like a pillow. He was lying in his bed again, but the lantern sat on his windowsill, glowing faintly like a nightlight. His room held echoes of the dream, a sparkle here, a giggle there. And on his nightstand, the blue feather. Outside, a shooting star streaked across the sky. Cosmo smiled in his sleep. And so ends the tale of Cosmo and the Lantern of Dreams, a soft whisper to remind us that kindness never sleeps, and dreams are always waiting with gentle light. If you enjoyed this bedtime story, please subscribe to my channel, Bedtime Stories for Any Age. Good night and sweet, pleasant dreams.